Welcome to Caching Waves. This is your Elliott Wave update for Solana. I'm going to go over the macro in this one as well as the micro. So first of all, out on a daily chart showing us our 5-wave move to the upside off the low in 2020. After that, we had a complex correction to the downside, finishing in a zigzag for our Y wave, right at the 618 retracement of the entire move up, and then had a impulse off that low. Now, this is my primary count as a 5-wave impulse. We're currently on our fourth of our third in green. I'll show you that in a moment. But you can see we've extended past the 1.618 for our third wave. I think we're going to be coming up to the 2.236 at 191 for our target for our third. But I'll show you why on the lower time frames. Just remember that 191 level. So we'll go down to the 4-hour, which is the third wave. I'll take this off. Down at the 4-hour. So from our wave 1 off our 2, we've come well past the 1.618 for our third wave. And I believe we're coming to the 2.618 extension for our fifth. Remember, it's right at that 191 area as well. So everything lines up there. There's a lot of confluence. If we end in or around this area as well, if we take our wave 1, extend it off our fourth wave, if this pivot holds, we're also at that 1-to-1 extension right around 191 as well. So our standard extension for our fifth being 1-to-1 with wave 1 also lines up with that area. So you can see there's a lot of confluence for our fifth wave to finish up there of our third. The question is, how do we get there? So one thing to keep in mind is we'd expect our correction to take about the same amount of time as our wave 2 did. So we take our wave 2, extend it off our third. That would take us out to the end of February before we complete. But this is just a guideline, not a rule. We can be complete here. I just don't like it based where everything else is at the market. I think we need another move to the downside, or at least a flat correction, or even possibly a triangle in this area as a wave 4. We are expecting some sort of flat correction, however. Let's go down to the hourly. So I have a couple different scenarios here. B waves are one of the toughest to trade and to project what can be happening, especially with this structure to begin with. It was very complex. I can actually remove that. That's not accurate anymore. So first we had a 3-wave move to the downside. I have that as our A wave. The question I have here is, are we complete here as our A wave, as a WXY complex structure, or are we in the middle of a B wave? I'll show you that. That's in gray, like so. And we have a complex structure here as an A, B, C, finishing in 5. And then we come down a little bit lower. We'd actually come a little bit lower because we'd take our extension tool from our A, project it off the B, come down to around $70. So very, very difficult moment. I'm going to give it a little more time. But my primary is the red count, where we're going to be making an ABC to the upside, which would make a larger ABC. And we just make a flat pattern here in a channel, most likely. Something like this. And then we go up for our fifth wave to the upside. So that's what I'm expecting, but I can easily be proven wrong as soon as the low is broken right here. If the low breaks there, I would expect the C wave and then further upside, because as you can see, so I pulled our pivots off the gray count and we came right into our B area of a flat between the 1.236 and 382, just right in the middle of that, and we're making a impulse to the upside. So this can be a correction in itself, and we make our C wave, and then our correction is complete and we move to the upside. So that's where I'm at. We're just past the 618 retracement of the move to the downside. If you go on linear, we haven't even hit it yet. So we have about to 108 for this to pivot before I would switch probabilities to this ABC to the upside. But expecting a 3-wave move here, 3 or 5 here, and then further to the upside. So we'll go down to the 15-minute. This wave is pretty difficult to count. I pulled a pivot here from our first move to the low. We're past the 1.618 at the 200. So is this some sort of diagonal as either the A or the B? That would be, this is a 3-wave move, 3-wave move, ABC, 3-wave move, A, B, C, making our 3rd wave come down for our B. Or if we keep going from here, there is one other alternative, but I think it's unlikely, is we can still be an ABC and this gets extended up. Then we make our C wave down. It should just be an expanded flat in between. This is why B waves are so difficult to trade, because they can be so many different things. And in that scenario, we would get, this would be a 1, 2, 1, 2. And we're making a 1/3 of a 1/3, come up, 4th, 5th, etc. But in that scenario, it's not impulsive. This B wave just gets moved a little bit higher and we get an expanded flat between our ABC. All right, so I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this because I really like the chart setup. That 191 target is a 191 target has a lot of confluence, so it looks like that's the area we're going to need to top in our 3rd in green. So I'm going to pay attention to what happens in this area. If we get some nice sideways consolidation in some sort of channel, I would lean towards the C wave we need, and I'll probably take a scalp on that. But if we just start falling down from here and make a 5-wave impulse to the downside, correct sideways, I would expect us to make this ABC to the downside. All right, guys, I wish I had a little more clarity here. I will get some more clarity as this wave fills out, but as of right now, just sidelined on this. This can come up as high as 108 to hit the 618, and our standard targets at the 200 to the 2.382. We'll have to wait and see what happens after that fact to get probabilities on our side. All right, guys, that's it for Solana. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.